That was AC/DC with Girls Got a Rhythm. This is Uncle Necro, and today I've got a special treat for you. I am joined by Tiffany and Jean from SWTOR's Order of the Fallen Jedi Guild, and we're going to discuss what it's like being a female in today's MMO setting. Well, first off, how wonderful is it to be a female gamer in Star Wars or any other MMO?
Well, it's different at first. You gotta find a group of people that you're cool with and that isn't gonna treat you differently.
For me, it's kind of like you're finally allowed up in the clubhouse, and you actually know the secret password.
Yeah, definitely kind of a secret kind of thing that only people in the gaming community can understand, and it's really cool when you get to be a part of that.
I always thought for females the secret password was boobs, but...
Well, we figured that out as a teenager, but as a kid we didn't have any to show.
Very true.
So you do in fact get treated differently?
For the most part, in my experience in past MMOs and just gaming in general, yes.
Yeah, I think when you're in the guild and your guildmates know you, you get treated as by whatever your competency level is, but by casual players, if they find out you're female, they either treat you like you can't play very well or like you're there to socialize and pick up on somebody.
Exactly.
Well, socializing is fun, but it is...
Yes, it is.
It is to an extent when it becomes an issue of like, oh my god, you're a female, and every guy within a 50-yard radius is all hitting on you, then it can be just kind of annoying.
Right, because the truth is, by this stage of the game, when you get to end game, you want loot. That's all you want. You don't want phone numbers. You don't want their email accounts. You just want the same loot thereafter.
Well, now, as a guy, I have seen some female gamers come in and take full advantage of that. How does that make you feel? Where they come in and start letting the guys hand over everything?
I'll let Tiff take that first.
Well, really, it really kind of ticks me off because it just puts female gamers in a bad light, and as a whole, and makes it so the ones that truly want to come in and play and compete like a normal or like a guy would, it just kind of puts you at a disadvantage because there are some out there that are taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I find myself I feel a lot of disdain for those kinds of players, honestly, because there's no reason for them to be like that.
Also, from time to time, I've noticed in games that if there is a female player, they, from time to time in a group, get the role of a mommy. How do you deal with that?
Offer to make cookies.
I just think it's very important to establish your personality very quickly, and once you just establish your personality and stuff like that, it's gonna be very hard for anybody to think of you as a certain type.
Right, like I'm not actually at all sure how I'm perceived in the guild, because you guys do know I am a grandmother, and I don't hide that fact, though I try not to nursemaid to the adult males in the guild.
Oh, please. In this guild, we're all children.
It's very true.
Yes, and I don't feel older than you guys when it comes to playing the game.
No, I've noticed both of you you'll talk shit just as much as the rest of us.
And I,
Is that something you've had to learn, or is that just natural to you?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think in order to get along and to kind of be in that type of group, you have to figure out what you're comfortable with and what others are comfortable with, and kind of play to that, as well as just have fun. And if you're throwing out jokes with everybody else and doing that, it's a lot more fun.
Right. It's like for me, I find that I'll keeping up with the guys as far as throwing it out as much as they can. It's not so much a male versus female as it's fun to be able to let loose. And you guys, we don't have to play to being a lady. We can just, you guys actually give us the opportunity to just be one of the guys. Because honestly, if you guys started trying to act like one of the girls, I wouldn't like you very much.
Well, yeah, that is true. It definitely would be very strange to have the opposite.
It would freak me right out.
Hey, I've seen the surgery involved in that, and there's no way in hell I'm getting mine snipped off.
Yeah, I would hope.
I think that's another thing for female gamers is you have to be comfortable moving in a male world and around guys who just act and talk like men do. And if you're easily offended, it's probably not an environment for you.
It also is a matter of just finding the right place, because not every single place is going to be the right place for you. If you get into a guild that you don't feel comfortable with the people, well, then you need to get out and find one that you do. And been very lucky with the people in our guild, especially because like I feel very comfortable, very at home, very easily to be able to talk to people.
Yes, and they're helpful, and you don't. It isn't like they treat you. They don't help you because you're a girl. They help you because you're another player asking for information.
And they listen to you as they would anybody else when you're trying to explain something to them that they might not understand, which is another thing. Is a lot of times you'll run into, they think they know more than you simply because they're a guy and they're playing games or something.
So, would you say that the male-dominated gaming world is, as it's portrayed on TV, where it's usually some virgin around 40 who's stuck in mommy's basement?
No, I actually honestly think that has kind of changed throughout the years, and there are more of a range of players, from, people in their 50s and 60s all the way down to, the teenagers and stuff like that. It's just, it's not stereotypical anymore.
Exactly. I'm sure that there are those 40-year-old virgins in mommy's basement, but my experience, the majority of players I've come across are competent men of all ages, and they cover all scopes of life. But heavy introverts, I haven't really come across very many of those.
Is it harder socializing with other female gamers?
Tiff, I'll let you go.
It can be. It definitely can be. There are the females out there that want attention, or want to be number one and can't handle it if somebody else has the attention or is more popular than they are per se.
Yes, I've come across those as well, but then you have the others, like my experience, like in this particular time with Tiffany, you have someone who is very capable, and it's shared interest.
Yeah, I find that with Jean and girls in general that we get in the guild, it takes a very specific type to be in our guild and to be able to handle some of the people in our guild. And if you can do that, then generally we're probably going to get along.
Well, what about the females outside of our guild? Our guild is wonderful, but I don't want to turn this into a recruiting segment. Our numbers are almost capped out as it is.
I want to say a majority are just like anybody you come across. You're gonna have people that you're gonna like and get along with, and you're going to have people that you don't. And it's just like with anything else, there's going to be, a certain order to things, and, you're just not going to like a certain person for certain reasons.
Yep. Now I found, since I have played other games as well, and generally by the time that I've come across female players, they've been ready for raids, and it seems that from my experience, your raiding women tend to be more businesslike, and they just want to be perceived not as a good female player, but just as a good player. And some of them are like guys, they can joke, and some of them are no nonsense and don't joke around, just like their male counterparts.
I find that that's typically true. If you're in a rating setting, then it is different. There's a different way of females to handle things, as opposed to if you're just out running around doing something. And it also depends on how long they've been playing, because there are, if you've been playing a very short while, especially in online games with a lot of males, you're more closed off generally than you are if you've been playing for a while and know kind of what to expect. You're less likely to announce to the gaming community as a whole that you're a female, rather than just go in there and play. You don't have the confidence necessarily to state things that you would if you had been playing for a while.
Yeah, I think female players tend to be a little more reticent before they will speak up.
Well, with the growing popularity of voice chats, would you say that for a new female gamer, it would be best to stay out of them until she's established herself in the game?
That really depends on the person. Like, I would say that it is definitely going to change maybe the type of interaction they have necessarily, because once, like, if you come into the game as a new player and you jump into a voice chat, then everybody's going to know you're female, and then suddenly it's become more of a spotlight on that at first than the actual playing of the game.
And I think a lot of times it takes for a lot of women, before they will get into voice chat, they will make sure that they're comfortable with the players that they're going to enter into it with. Like for me, the first time I got into this voice chat, the guild actually assured me that this was a no drama guild, which to me meant that not everyone is trying to hook up. So it felt safe to come into the chat.
But yeah, there's a lot of things to consider when you're first going to jump into a chat. It's like if you've been in, say, whatever guild, or if you've been with these people before and you kind of know how they interact with you, then it's probably, you probably feel safer doing it. But just to randomly jump in a voice chat is probably a little bit more standoffish, I would say.
Now, it has been my experience lately, and this, I think in the beginning of the whole, online gaming, it was more of a guys would react like, "Oh my God, it's a woman," and I think anymore guys are more like, "Okay, it's another player who happens to be a girl," but it might be fun to kind of tease her a little bit.
Yeah, the mentality has changed towards that. It's like they realize now that there are more females, and it's not like just the rarest thing in the world to see one.
Yeah, and they don't act like it's not such a big deal, which really helps when it's like when the males do treat it as just another person, and and all they really hope is that you're going to bring something to the environment.
That sounded a little loaded.
Oh dear, it wasn't meant to be that time.
Yeah, I remember when both of you first hit the voice chats. I was not shy about show me your boobs. But that, of course, is me, and I'm an oversexed egomaniac.
Unfortunately, I don't know about Tiffany, but I knew that I didn't need to show my boobs, just remain in the guild.
Oh yeah,
Nor do
no.
they want to frighten you.
Yeah, no, it's not like a requirement or anything, but it is kind of an interesting icebreaker when somebody just pop in the chat and all of a sudden you see a message that says, "Show me your boobs."
Yeah, and actually, it's fun in a way when they do that because it's an icebreaker. They're saying what's you're not supposed to say, and you've gotten it out of the way. It's done. It's over, and everyone can just move on and have fun. Unless someone actually shows them their boobs, in which case I don't know that you'd object to that either.
I never object.
By the way, have you ever had any takers with that?
I may have. I can't recollect, Senator.
Very diplomatic answer.
Yes, it was. Very good cover.
Well, I don't actually post all of the pictures and interesting things I get on a secret site. Let's just say if I have them, they're put away. Well, I think that's about all the questions I have. Do you guys have anything you'd like to add? Or anybody you'd like to say hello to?
Well, I'd like to say hello to my friends' kids, Nicholas, Micah, and Noah. Other than that, I think that we need to get more of the girl gaming community involved as a whole, because it's just seems like there's more of us that play than actually are active, I guess you would say.
So the message in that is, girls, show up, burn your bras, and say hello.
Well, that'll work, especially if it's an uncomfortable bra.
How about you, Gene? Anybody you'd like to say hello to?
I'm not going to say names, but if any of my geeky sons ever hear this, hello, and they'll know that I'm their mom, because not many mothers call their sons geeky.
You've definitely got to be an interesting mother.
Well, I very proudly raised three nerds. It's a good thing.
Well, thank you very much. And now we return to the music here on Radio for Gamers.